Welcome once again to our Instagram live page. We're calling it the Virtual Rock Room here at the WRIF. We're in our green room hanging out, and we're supposed to have Tarek from the Bluestones. He's going to join us momentarily, and so, hey, hello. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Certainly a weird time that we're living in. And this is a great way for us to connect with our listeners and our fans. Just like before, we've got our good friend Blake Griffin helping hold up the phone right now, because that's how we do it here. But if you guys have questions that you want to ask the guys, ask Tarek from the Bluestones, certainly submit them. And hope you guys are being safe. Thank you. I'm glad that you guys like the shirt. It was an Instagram find, so thank you guys. We're gonna wait for Tarek to join us. Hello, hi Dave. It's so crazy that we're able to stay connected with everybody. We had talked to Sean from Grade A's earlier this week, and just how different the pandemic would be if we were in the 90s. Certainly wouldn't be the same. So, oh, hello, the Bluestones have joined. Hi. Hello. Just need him to request, I believe. Yeah, the Bluestones are great. Of course, our neighbors from across the way in Windsor. Just need him to request to join us. There we go. Going live now. Waiting for the connect. Of course, that's one thing that we have is Wi-Fi.
What's up, Jade?
Hey, Tarek, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. We're living. We're hanging out. We're in quarantine, but I get to come to the radio station, so at least I get to do that.
Well, that's good. At least I let you in the doors.
Yeah, it's very limited amount of people though, and we all are told to like stay in our areas and don't talk to anybody else. So
what's the kitchen like? Is everybody just kind of like, oh, don't touch me?
Yeah, pretty much. And actually, I've spilled twice and had to clean up after myself, and everyone just walks around like, oh, that sucks, sorry. Not gonna help. So but it hasn't been too bad.
Wow.
Hasn't been too bad. So how have you been? Like, how are you holding up?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's obviously a little bit of a unique situation we're all in, but it's kind of been fun to connect with, the whole live streaming side of things, especially music-wise. And I've had a lot of fun doing a lot of different things. Obviously, like, something like this is always fun for me to do, and speaking with you. But then even just personally with our own Instagram page and YouTube, we've been doing live streams. I've been doing like a late night live stream where I take people's piano requests and stuff. So things that I would never have expected to ever do. And then now, well, you do them because that's what you can do, right?
Yeah, and actually right before you hopped on, I was saying, like, it's certainly an unusual time, and it sucks because a lot of people are stuck at home, but what a cool thing for us to be able to do, to hop on and talk to each other and connect. If this was in the 1990s, like, the pandemic would be totally different if we were living in 1999,
Yeah, I was thinking about that exact same thing. Like, how would this be different if we didn't have, smartphones, whatever else? It would be crazy. Like, you'd literally be in your house and you would have no idea of what was going on other than watching TV.
Right.
And, just to see that way.
Yeah. So, I got some questions for you. Of course, you guys are supposed to play WRIF Fest. Coming up this summer, and kind of up in the air right now. Nothing has been confirmed on a date change just yet. But obviously for you guys, like, summer is like touring season for a lot of bands. So, how is this affecting you guys and your planning abilities, and all the things that you had coming up? Like, what have you been doing to kind of work around everything?
Well, I mean, it's hard to see what's beyond 1 month ahead because things change so quickly.
Right.
We've had we had our own personal tour canceled, well, postponed, I should say.
Right.
So that was a bummer, right? Because we were so excited to get out to Western Canada. So that happened. Then we had a couple of support slots that we were supposed to open up for the Struts, and I believe that tour has been postponed as well. So yeah, it's tough, but it's kind of understandable. We saw it coming, so we sort of prepared for it in that way. but there's not much you can do, right? I mean, when things are canceled, when things are postponed, it's just kind of like, yeah, that's a bummer, but I get it. So what are we gonna do? But when it comes to shows that are in the future, like Riff Fest, obviously both you and I don't really know what's going on. So
Right.
there could be a chance that we end up playing that show. So I mean, we just take things as it comes and announce them as we need to, right?
Yeah, and that's what we've been telling everybody with Riff Fest and with a lot of our events. You know, it's a day-to-day thing, and as soon as we get info, of course, we're going to share it with everybody. So, but you have been doing some musical things. You've been doing the live streams and stuff, but you guys just released a song called Careless
Yes.
earlier, like right at the beginning of April, which is definitely, I love it. I think it's a great song, but it's
Oh,
definitely, the style is a little bit different.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so like and there was some comments I noticed on YouTube of people saying like, wow, this is different, but I like it.
Mhm.
So what's the deal? Like what happened with the change of sound on that one?
Well, it's funny because I think a lot of people who know our music from the album we put out over a year and a half ago, they know us as being like a rock duo, probably leaning a bit more towards, the alt rock sort of scene. But really, like that kind of music, especially for me doing the songwriting, it's been in my DNA for years and years and years. And I guess it finally was time for it to come out because when I was writing the songs for this upcoming record, there's a whole eclectic mix of like R&B vibes, hip hop, and it just comes out in the songwriting. It's not like I sat there one day and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a song that sounds like a college song. It just sort
Right.
of it just sort of came out in the writing. And I remember like presented it to, well, obviously Justin, and he was like, yeah, I think that's really good. And then Paul, who was our producer, Paul Meany, he really fell in love with that song from the demo stage. And he's like, listen, you have to go with it. I know it's different for you guys, but I kind of have a really good feeling about it. So we just kind of ran with it and it developed in the studio. And yeah, it's different for us, but in a way, I think that's pretty cool because, let's say if you never thought you would be a Bluestones fan and that connects with you, then, welcome to the team kind of
Right.
thing, right? So,
Yeah. Well, and what's interesting, because I was watching the music video earlier this afternoon, and the song is called Careless, but if you listen to the lyrics of the song, like it really kind of resonates with what's going on right now. Anthony Fauci, of course, the chief of medicine here in the United States, had made a comment about people meeting up on Tinder dates and basically said, is the risk worth the biscuit? And I feel like that's kind of like there's a lyric in the song that's like the risk of what you're doing and the choices that you're making. And I kind of like sat back and I was like, whoa, like, wow, that hit me different. And it was interesting.
I never once in my life, especially when writing that song, thought that it would ever connect with a pandemic before. But if that's what happened, great. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm kind of curious about that actually. Like, what are people like doing for Tinder and Bumble? And like, I mean, what do you do now? You just talk and then you're just like, all right, well, it would be cool to meet up, but we can't. So I'll see you later.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's just extreme ghosting. Like you just flirt with somebody for for a while and then say, all right, well, I've moved on to the next one. I have no idea. I've been sitting at home with my cat, as you can see. I got the cat on. But you mentioned Justin, so obviously I would assume you guys are not quarantining together. So what's he up to? How's he doing?
Yeah, he's I always like to say he's in an underground bunker somewhere in Kingston, Ontario. He's making a lot of good food, that's for sure. But yeah, he's definitely just kind of like taking it easy, working a lot of things behind the scenes. We do a lot of our own hands-on work for what we do, along with our awesome management. But yeah, he's pretty good at this kind of thing. At like the whole stay home, don't do anything. Like he's good. I feel like that's where he thrives.
Is he better at it than you are?
Yes. Oh yeah. For me, like I'll spend probably 3 hours, maybe 4 hours at home, and then I'm like, I have to just get out of here. I have to see the sky.
Yes.
So I get very, very antsy and impatient. But he's good at just relaxing and absolutely basking in the free time that we've got. And I kind of wish I was better at it.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of memes out there of like the introverts who are like, I've been training my whole life for this.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I'm not an introvert. I love going out. I love meeting up with my friends. And so same thing, like I'm just antsy. Like I've been cleaning. I bought a basketball and a basketball hoop for my driveway because I'm like, I got to find something to do. So I guess I'll learn how to play basketball.
Well, that's the cool thing about this, right? Like everything being put on hold, it gives you time to try these things that you never would have tried before, or like delve into a hobby that maybe you just kind of put aside for years and years, and now you actually have the time to figure it out. I can't tell you how many times I've been asked, like, "Hey, man, can you teach me how to play the guitar?" And like, I don't have the patience for that.
Right.
No way. No way.
Right.
But everybody wants to learn the guitar now.
Have you thought about doing that as part of your your Instagram live thing? Is doing maybe some quick lessons?
Well, to be honest with you, I think about a week ago, I did a live stream on Instagram and YouTube, and I taught people how to play our song Grim on guitar.
Okay.
And I know I just sat there like bashing it, but I actually had an absolute blast doing that. Like, I didn't think I would really enjoy it, but then while I was doing it, I was like, yeah, you know what? This is actually kind of fun. I don't really mind doing this at all.
Right.
So yes, I have done that.
Cool. Well, and you're calling your basement the Sugar Lounge.
The Sugar Lounge. Yeah.
Why are we calling it the Sugar Lounge?
Wow, Jay, I can't believe you know that. You know, it stemmed from that teaching session that I did. You know, when I would tell people if they wanted to add a couple of extra licks or notes to the riff that I was teaching, I would say like, yeah, you can just throw a little bit of sugar on that. And really what I've been doing at night is like I have my keyboard set up and I'll ask people to just send me a request, and whatever they want to hear, I'll look it up, and I'll just throw a little bit of sugar down on the keys too. So it's the Sugar Lounge now. Now we're downstairs in the Sugar Lounge.
I love it. I love it. Have you been working on doing new material while we're hanging out and we've got time to sit around, or have you been just like taking requests to play, you know, old music and cover songs?
Well, truthfully, I think the new stuff that I've been working on is, or I should say, are different renditions of songs that we already have from Black Holes, and then also songs from the upcoming album. So it's just kind of nice to be able to take the rock DNA of a song and be like, okay, well, how would I play this in an environment like the Sugar Lounge? Like, how would I do that? Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been working on more, just giving the songs sort of a new life in a different format. Whereas, you know, I'm not really writing anything new, more so just trying to change what's old to be new in a way.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Have you been has Justin been working on any music, or he's just like cooking? And I mean, I would assume you guys are staying in contact. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's been
musically, what's he got going on? Is he contributing? Come on, Justin, we've got
yes,
a bunch of time.
Yeah. We contribute in different ways. If not musically, he's actually working on like just a cool way to connect with the fans through things like cooking and teaching how to make cocktails and doing a tour of the studio that we worked at. So like that sort of interaction. And then musically always just sort of keeps up. I remember like on tour, he's got this little octagon pad and he works on his, I can't remember what they're called now, but it's basically just drum patterns.
Okay.
So I'm sure he's been doing that a lot and trying to set up a kit at home. I mean, it's kind of hard to like just play the drums at home because especially if you're living with somebody, it's like, oh my God, I'm about to make all this noise.
Right.
You know, so yeah, he keeps himself busy.
Have you thought about doing, you know, like an Instagram chat like we're doing right now, and possibly like trying to play together?
I thought about that, and what I kind of like hit a wall with is there a delay between something that I would play and then what he would hear? Like, how would we stay in time, kind of thing? Right. But I mean, I'll be honest, Jade, I haven't even tried it. We haven't even given it a shot. I think it would kind of be an interesting thing to do. I think you might have just tipped me over the edge there. I think we have to work something out and actually do that.
Well, we've got a few people that are commenting on the feed right now that are saying do it.
Do it? Okay.
Oh yeah. So I think that's what you have.
I think as long as we were able to like count ourselves in and then keep the time, then it wouldn't be an issue. It would probably work out.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
It probably work out pretty well.
Well, and honestly, like, I feel like some of the stuff that people are doing online, like us talking right now, like this is spawning maybe like a new era of even when we get out of quarantine, you know, like why haven't we been doing this before? Like Instagram Live has existed for so long. Like it took everybody being at home for us to talk online like this for the fans live and have them submit questions. Like why are we so slow? Why are we so dumb?
I was going to ask you that. Like, what do you think would happen now, especially for you all at the radio station? So you've tried all these live streaming things. Do you think that, let's say the pandemic goes away and then people are allowed to go out and tour and whatever else, do you think you would still maintain the live streams and do this?
I've talked about it, you know, with my program director and our marketing director and stuff, and been like, you know, I think this is something that I think we've tapped into something that we should continue to do. Like, we're coming up with ideas of things to keep our listeners entertained online and things to do digitally because that's what everyone's doing. And it's like, wait a second, why haven't we been doing this? And I've come up with some stuff like, hey, if we're still in quarantine after the end of the month, this would be great. But even if we're not, we should probably still be doing some of the stuff that we're doing because, it's all relevant and it's all, it's keeping true to our format and, connecting with the bands. Like, I don't know a better way to connect with bands right now than what we're doing.
Yeah, it's really just one-on-one. It's me and you. So I think it's really, really cool. And it would be a shame for all of that to go away. I actually I've only done it about 3 times. I just can't imagine my life without the Sugar Lounge now. I just can't. It's a part of me now.
I love the idea of the Sugar Lounge, and I love that you keep saying like, oh, you just throw some sugar on it. But like after this is all done, like you should probably have like a Sugar Lounge series or a session or like there's got to be something there that you can continue on because
you're getting the gears turning for me, Jade. You really, really are. We can make it real nice with everybody sits at a table and they've got sugar there at the table in different forms, like sugar cubes.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. And you just come out like real jazzy like. And hey, ladies and gentlemen, here we are.
Yeah, nice blue lights. That'd be nice. I think it's something we could do, for sure.
Good. Well, how are things? And there are some people that are asking, where are you guys from? Windsor, Canada. Windsor, Ontario, Canada. So right across the river from us here in the Motor City. But how are things in Canada? Because obviously things are a little bit different in the U.S. than other countries. So, with everything that's going on, how is it over in the Great White North?
I think it's very similar in a lot of ways. So, your standard day-to-day observations that you would see in the States are the same here. So there's lineups at grocery stores and liquor stores, and there's people that are maintaining social distancing and everybody's wearing a mask and only essential services are open. So I think a lot of those are the same. I'm not really in touch with what's going on. Maybe actually you could help me with it, but I don't really know what's the deal with an economic stimulus package for you guys, because in Canada, they do have programs now for people to apply to so that they can at least have a little bit of wage coming in or a little bit of money coming in.
Right.
That's given by the government, and other things like interest payments are zero and tuition payments are put off until September. So that's what's going on here. I think our country's really stepping in and really giving us the support. I mean, as much as they can, right, without running dry. But I don't know what it's like in the States, I know it's more state by state, but what is it like in Michigan?
Well, we do have a federal stimulus program that you can apply for, similar to what you guys are doing. They're talking about altering it based on how long this is going to last, but there is a stimulus program where you can apply and get money for, I believe right now, and anybody who's on here right now, don't quote me, I don't work for the government. I believe it's like a one-time thing right now. They're possibly talking about changing that. Tuition has been put on hold for a lot of places. A lot of people with rent and mortgages, that's been put on hold. Tax has been delayed till July, I think, doing our taxes and everything. So, and then everything is really state by state. And, some states are not even on lockdown at all. Some states are really extreme. Yeah. Some are a little bit looser. And so it's day by day. And I think the important thing for everyone is to just do your part and just, stay home, go out if you have to. But, let's be honest, it's still snowing. It's still snowing, everybody.
How insane is that? I woke up yesterday and there's thick snowflakes falling. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's mid to late April now. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, although in my Facebook memory 6 years ago, I put up a status that said, basically telling everyone to shut up. It always snows in April. Get over it. This is Michigan and very similar for you guys in Windsor. So relax. But at the same time, I'm like, God, I wish it was warm out.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. I kind of miss that now. I miss just outside and enjoying outside. Yeah, not that we can't go outside. We can still go outside, but, actually enjoying it and going. You know what I really miss is going to a patio somewhere and just having a couple of drinks outside. That'll probably be the first thing that I do once this all blows over.
Yeah, I can't wait to see my friends. We've been doing a lot of Zoom calls. Have you been meeting up with friends on video chat and stuff?
Yeah, we've done the house party thing. And then the Zoom calls and things like that. And yeah, it's fun. I guess it's like a novelty now because like, oh, we never used to do this and now we're doing it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think it gets old after a while. There are like a select few people that I am in like of my friends that I'm in contact with because we've sort of been the only people that we've contacted with since the start of this whole thing. So
Right.
it's not that I actually have like a group of guys to go and, you know, just hang out and play board games with and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah,
Big
and I
board
kind
game
of
guy.
agree. Huh?
I'm a big board game guy.
Yeah, well, and I am too, but I live alone with my cat, and she just does not understand any of the games, so
Yeah.
that's a problem. But with the house party stuff, like, it is fun, but I feel like there is a point where, like, there's been a couple of times where we've had, like, 14 friends, like, on a chat, and
Wow.
it's, no one can hear what anyone is saying. Like, everyone's talking at once, and then a couple times I'm like, wow, I drank way too much. It was like we were actually partying, and I'm not, though. I'm in my house by myself, and I like woke up the next day and I was like, oh wow, like you drank a lot of beer, like
Yeah, like I'm
you
actually
didn't
hungover.
leave and you didn't go anywhere. You were on a video chat, so maybe cool it on the quarantine beers. But
Yeah, I may end up an introvert by the end of this thing. I think you said it right earlier, where it's like this is an introvert's dream. Like, hey, you have to stay in your house. You can't talk to anybody or even come close to them, and only leave the house if you need to. And I think most introverts would be like, all right, awesome. That's day in the life. I'll just keep
yeah,
doing that.
yeah. No, I started walking. Like I said, I bought a basketball. I've been doing yard work.
I was gonna say, what's the weirdest thing that you have started doing now that you're in like quarantine mode? Like something that you wouldn't expected yourself to do.
Like take pride in how much I enjoy things being clean. Like I'm never home. And so, and not that I like live like as a mess, but I always kind of make the joke that I live like a frat boy because I eat out a lot. I don't have a ton of food at my house and I'm gone every day. So it's like folding blankets and putting laundry away, like not a priority. But now I'm like, well, you're home. So you should probably do it. And I'm like, wow, that looks really good. Like, look at how clean everything is. Look at you now. Like,
Wow, I'm a
like
person.
I feel like a real adult. What about you? Like, what have you noticed that you've been doing?
I think for me, it's definitely been cooking a lot more. Like I think I've gotten in touch with that side more, and I'm like making things that I never thought I'd make in the past. But because I have the time to do it, like I'll spend 2 hours preparing something that I want to eat. So I think that's probably the weirdest, or at least the most different. Whereas I mean, we're especially when it's real life, which I'm going to call real life, not pandemic. When it's real life, I'm either touring, or when I'm back home, I'm working. Like I do physical therapy, so it's like I'm constantly doing something. But now that I have the time, I think that was a weird thing that came out of it, the cooking.
Yeah, I've definitely been cooking a lot, but I don't enjoy it, and here's why. I don't have a dishwasher, so yeah, and like I don't have a huge kitchen, so it's like every day I cook, and every day I have to do dishes, and if I don't do dishes the night that I cook, they're waiting for me the next day. And so I have been cooking, but I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy.
Yeah, no, you know what? I can feel your pain on that because dishes, that would deter me as well.
Do you have a dishwasher?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, you wash the big things, but like everything else in the dishwasher, boom, you're done. And there's nothing worse than waking up to a dirty house. That is, for me, that's a big pet peeve of mine. Like when I need to get in the morning, I want to have my coffee. I literally want to run my hand over the table and know that it's clean. Like if it's dirty still with whatever the hell I was doing the night before, that's not a good day for Tarek. That's not a good day.
That is not how you want to start your day off.
Oh, no.
Well, you've got your guitar there.
I do.
Were you going to play a tune for us?
Yeah,
Is that a possibility?
Yeah, for sure. I figured I'd play, Shakin Off The Rust. We're talking about being clean and all that stuff, so.
Yeah. All right. Should I like get out of the frame so you're not like staring at me, or should I stay right
It's
here?
up to you. I would love to serenade you right now, but you do whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay?
All right, I'll sit like kind of like half off.
Bang my head against the wall. Try to find my stride, but I trip and I fall. Losing my attention again. Yeah, I hit the bottom, but I'm on the mend. Take another step, push it to the end. Just a little more, I can see the end. Yeah, you're finished, yeah, you're mine. Always win in due time. You think too much, it's in my head. So I'm shaking off the rust, and you've got no trust, it's in my head. So I'm shaking off the rust. I think I broke just a little bit. Walk through the fire, made it back again. Lord knows I've tried everything I can. Now I'm shaking off the rust. Shaking off the rust. Bang my head against the wall. Try to hold a smile, but I'm sick of it all. Everyone with something to say. Better hold my tongue or I'll make a mistake. Show 'em what I do, show 'em how it's done. Never turn it down, never gonna run, I learn. You think too much, it's in my head. So I'm shaking off the rust, and you've got no trust, it's in my head. So I'm shaking off the rust. I think I broke just a little bit. Walk through the fire, made it back again. Lord knows I've tried everything I can. Now I'm shaking off the rust. Shaking off the rust, yeah. You think too much, it's in my head. So I'm shaking off the rust, and you got no trust, it's in my head. So I'm shaking off the rust. I think I broke just a little bit. Walk through the fire, made it back again. Lord knows I've tried everything I can. Now I'm shaking off the rust. Oh, I'm shaking off the rust. Oh, I'm shaking off the rust. And I'm shaking off the rust.
Woo!
All right.
Woo! Everybody make some noise.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah. Yes. No. Everybody, give us the claps in the comments there. I know there's a bunch of hearts coming up and everything else. That was awesome. Have you been doing like a lot of just like tooling around on the guitar at your house?
Yeah. Just messing around with especially the acoustic guitar, which is something that I haven't really done in a long time. I usually just play through an electric setup, but it's kind of nice to get in touch with the acoustic again because it just adds like a different flavor altogether. Not quite sugar, but like Splenda.
Like Splenda, maybe like oregano, a little spicy.
Yeah, a little oregano, a different.
There you go.
Yeah.
So other than cooking and hanging out in the sugar lounge and playing guitar and stuff, have you been like binge watching shows or like music? What have you been watching?
Okay, Ozark for sure. Like, do you watch Ozark?
Oh my God, yes. I binge watched the 3rd season in like a day and a half.
You did? Okay, should we spoil everything for everybody right now? No, let's not do that.
I don't know, but I know that at the very end, I was sitting on my couch and the end scene,
Yeah.
And for everybody else who knows, I literally sat up and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Oh, like.
I feel like I watch that show the same way that I watch football on TV.
Okay.
Like I'm the same intensity. Like I'm making all the noises, like looking around and make sure everybody saw what just happened. Whereas like, most people watch that show like as like a serious drama and like they're quiet, but like, no, I get into it. Marty Bird gets me going. He gets me, and Wendy gets me going too. But yeah, that's definitely a show I've binge watched. That there's a show that I just started watching called Altered Carbon. Have you heard of this show?
I have. I haven't seen it, but I've one of my coworkers put it on his list of 5 shows to binge watch. So I don't know much about it. What's it about?
It's like honestly, it's kind of complicated, but pretty much it's set way in the future, and humans are able to store their souls and their being into like a hard drive chip that's inserted into your spine. So if you die, or if your body dies, they can just take that out and put you into a new sleeve, which is basically just a new body. Okay. So the whole thing is this guy who was like this crazy good fighter and soldier has been put into a police detective's body, and now he has to help solve a murder. So
Okay.
it's kind of cool. It's a pretty cool premise. You know, I don't think it's as I guess stimulating as Ozark is for me. But it's one of those shows I like to throw on, just kind of have on. And then I don't know, I heard a lot of people talking about what's the other big? Oh, Tiger King was the one that I watched recently. I'm sure you watched it as well.
Yeah, I think that everyone has, even though most people hated it. So of course we got to ask the questions then, because we've talked about it here.
Okay.
But did Carol kill her husband?
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. God, you know, I'm not quite sure. Because the thing is, she is either telling the absolute truth, and the truth is so insane that it sounds fake.
Right.
Or she is one of the best liars and manipulators I've ever seen in my life. Right. So I don't know. I guess the question is, what kind of person do you think Carol Baskin is? Is she just a truth teller, or is she actually capable of being manipulative? And I feel like most people will say the latter, because it is really weird how her husband just disappeared. So I guess if I'm to really say it, I can't count lack of evidence as evidence. So no. Okay. If we're going to be completely fair, then no. Okay. I don't know.
See, I'm leaning towards, and here's why. Here's my reasoning as to why I think that she did. Because in the episode where the tiger's kind of like attacking Joe's leg.
Yes.
And he's like, you know, somebody put cologne on my shoe. And she was like, just into the camera, like, you wouldn't use cologne, you'd use sardine oil.
Oh, yeah, like right.
Like, what? like, hold up.
Like, fine, that's educational, but also why? Like, glad you know.
Like, yeah. Okay, so do you think that Joe deserves to be in prison for 22 years?
I think he deserves. What did he go to prison for?
He had solicited a hitman to kill Carol Baskin.
Okay, you know what? I do have an opinion on this. I think Joe should be put away for like animal abuse, because like he was clearly abusing those animals, you know. Yeah. Especially like with that little scene you're talking about, he's like shouting at the tigers, telling him he's going to shoot him between the eyes. So I think that he should be punished for that. But I truly think that Jeff Lowe guy had a lot more to do with that hit setup. Yes. than what people are pinning Joe for. So if he's in jail, I think it should be for the animal abuse stuff. But I really think that Jeff Lowe guy got away scot-free with a lot of the stuff. I feel like he was behind the scenes, just a master manipulator.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And did you watch the follow-up episode, like the 8th episode that came out last Sunday?
No. There's another one?
There's a new episode. And basically it's a Zoom talk like everybody's been doing. Joel McHale is the host. And he talks to Jeff Lowe. He talks to that guy that was the TV producer. He talks to like a bunch of characters, obviously not Carol or Joe, but just as like a follow-up.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, a lot of them are kind of upset about how they were portrayed. And I'm like, well.
I've heard. I mean, yeah, but like,
that's what you were doing.
Yeah, like, how do you portray Joe Exotic as a certain way? Like, that guy is who he is 100%, you know?
100%.
I know it was a really sad thing that happened to this woman. I feel really bad for her when she got her arm bit off. But, like, that aside, the minute that happens, he throws on this, like, retro leather EMS bomber. Like, how do you have that? Why do you have that?
Why?
You know?
That was my thought exactly. I was like, why is that?
I thought that was hilarious personally, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta watch that episode. I gotta go watch that episode.
I know, and what sucks is like my girlfriend and I were talking about it, and she was like, she binge watched it. We both did, and I was like, well, what'd you think? And she was like, it sucked. Like, I hated it. Like, the whole thing, like, all the characters suck. What they're doing to the animals sucks. It's like a train wreck that you can't look away from. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, they're just all so wacko in their own ways that, like, you're just like, oh my God, what are they gonna do next? And then what about that other dude? The guy with the really long ponytail, and he wears the hat, and he runs like a cult pretty much.
Oh yeah, the Doc.
The Doc. Doc Antle. That's it.
Yeah, they need to investigate that. Like, what's going on there? Because that is for sure a cult. And I was telling my mom about it. I was like, Mom, it's got tigers. It's got a sex cult. And she was like, what?
Yeah. and you always just forget about him near the end of it. You know, it's just like, oh, okay.
Well, there was a photo of him when Britney Spears had released whatever the song was where she had the big snake, because he had some other animals, and there's a photo of him on stage at one of the performances, like with her. And so it's like, how involved was he with, you know, the Hollywood scene of, you know, acting animals? I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. Well, and then I guess the last question about Tiger King is, what if Joe Exotic would have gotten elected?
As president?
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest. Would it be that much different? I don't know. Like, I think he's, you got to admit, okay, you have to admit that guy is charismatic.
Yes.
Right? Like, when he talks, you want to listen to what he's saying. But I really think that I think that the U.S. would just be one huge tiger zoo, pretty much. You know? Yeah, it wouldn't be a good thing. Let's just say that. Let's just.
Yeah, I don't know. Although I will say that the best thing to come out of it is the memes. Like, the memes that have been online are they're like what's keeping me going through quarantine here.
Yeah, nonstop. I mean, yeah, to all the meme lords and meme ladies out there, thank you for doing what you do. Yes. Because it's always nice to refresh the Instagram, see some good content. You know, like a lot. Yeah, it's good. It's good. People are fighting the good fight out there on socials. It's nice.
Yeah, right. And then what music have you been listening to?
Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, so I've been really diving into a band called Mo Lauda and the Humble. They're out of Philadelphia, really, really solid band. They put out a new album. Honestly, it was so unfortunate for them because they put out a new album just before all of this hit, and they had an entire tour planned. So you imagine like all the build up, all the work that goes into releasing an album, all the planning that goes for the months after the album is released. And then they can't do any of that now. So I urge people to go listen to this band, Mo Lauda and the Humble. They're very, very, very good. And then also, I've been listening to a lot of old Coldplay.
Okay.
I don't know why. Like, I think it just sort of hit.
Like Clocks era?
Yeah, like even like Parachutes. Like the first 3 albums, Parachutes, Rush of Blood, and X and Y. I've been just kind of listening through those. Just because, like, I think a lot of people like to knock on Coldplay. But like when those guys got together and released their first 3-4 albums, like there's some awesome songwriting going on there, and it's just nice for me because it's kind of inspirational and like sort of inspires me to write, you know. And it comes out as, you know, rock or hip hop or R&B, but it's still nice to hear some good songwriting wherever you can hear it. So yeah, there's that. I don't know. Is there somebody I should listen to?
I don't know. I'm all over the place with, you know, I go from listening to, you know, old Pantera to Bryce Vine all in one playlist. And my friend, we were on a Zoom call and I had it playing in the background and they were like, your range of what you're listening to right now is just, it's a little hard to get on board with. And I'm like, well, I'm here. And so I don't know. I listen to like a lot of Incubus. I've been listening to like the entire Led Zeppelin catalog because they have enough music that it'll get me through cleaning my entire basement.
Yeah. I mean, Incubus, like old Incubus that's some good stuff. You know? I mean, Morning View, and then what was the album before Morning View? Make Yourself. Yeah. Make Yourself, Morning View, even Crow Left to the Murder, I think, is right after that one. Like 3 just stellar albums back to back. Yeah, that is some good stuff for sure. For sure. And then old Blink, like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. I kind of dived into that one the other day.
Classic. Love me some Blink-182. So, cool. Well, we've been hanging out now for over a half hour, so I guess we'll wrap this up and let everybody get back to streaming stuff.
Get back to sitting around.
But thank you so much. I guess if you have any advice for maybe some people that are like, man, I don't know what to do, or I'm struggling out there, like any tips on to get through this?
Yeah, actually, it was Justin who posted this the other day, and it really resonated with me. So he was saying that, I don't know where he got this term, but we're calling this like the big pause, like hitting pause on something, right? So you can really take advantage of that. And just like things that you and I were just talking about, like, you know, I got in touch with cooking a little bit more, and you got in touch with cleaning your house, I guess, right? But just take advantage of all of this time now, all this time. There's nobody, I mean, first of all, if you're an essential worker, healthcare worker, thank you so much for what you do. You know, like absolutely, we wouldn't be able to run. Also, shout out to grocery store workers. I mean, let's give it to them too, right? A bit, yeah, absolutely. But if you are somebody who doesn't really have a lot to do, then honestly, just take advantage of not having responsibilities right now. Really take advantage of it. Read, build on a skill, learn a language. I don't really know, but you have the time, and nobody is going to be breathing down your neck about what you need to do next. So really take advantage of that, I would say.
Definitely. I agree with that 100%. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll see you guys this summer at WRIF Fest, but if not this summer, sometime certainly soon. Be safe out there, and thank you so much, Tarek. We really appreciate this, and keep the good music coming, because that's what's getting me through it. So thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, bye-bye.